What's up, all you crazy achievement hunting ninjas out there? This is Joe, and today I'm here to talk to you about the brand new FIFA 13 by EA Sports. Now, this is going to be it's going to be kind of a review, kind of just talking about the game, giving some of my opinions and thoughts on it, but, so far I've really enjoyed this game. I've enjoyed most of the FIFA games the year before, but they put a lot of real nice kind of finishing touches on this game to really bring it together. Honestly, it's not too much different from FIFA 12. There's a lot of the same elements, and honestly, if you're looking from the outside, it looks a lot like the same game. Same camera, graphics aren't hugely overhauled, and the gameplay looks overall very similar. But once you get your hand on the controller, it's a completely different game. It's hard to go back to the old FIFAs after playing this one. They added a new first touch mechanic where every single time your guy gets the ball, you have to be able to help them get under control and control the ball before you can run off and get a clean shot or something for it. It adds a bit of unpredictability. It's a real brave touch from a video game company to actually put something in the controls that takes control away from the player. But in this instance, it works really well. It adds a real life element to the game. I mean, it can be very frustrating at sometimes. I mean, you'll get a guy in the box and he may bobble it and not quite get the shot off, but for the most part it works really well. So it's a really new feature, and I hope to see them expand on it. Another neat feature that they added to the game this year was the ability to go through and work on training skill challenges to help make you better at certain aspects of the game. You can go in and do all these different little skill events like shooting on the goal, playing on a lob pass, or dribbling or passing mechanics to try and help you figure out some of the controls for the game. And the more you do it, the better you get. There's several different levels for each ranking, and it's exciting to kind of work your way up. It's neat because before the games, they'll have you do one of these training mechanics rather than just running and shooting at the goal a million times like in years past. It's nice to be able to feel like you're doing something productive while the game is loading. A lot of times, I'll be just wanting the game to load, and all of a sudden I'll find myself lost in doing these skill games, just trying to figure out how to do better. And it's kind of addicting trying to work your way up through the rankings and beat the high score. It's a really well done system, and it helps you get better at the game, and it's a fun mechanic. Of course, one of the best features that they've added this year is the new EA Sports Football Club. You can play live features, real-life games that are happening. You can go in the schedule, stay up to date, as well as the rosters. And one of the coolest parts is the updating commentary, which actually updates with real-life events in the game. Let's say Clint Dempsey on the Spurs is injured. They'll mention it in the commentary. Oliver Giroud, how he went the first half of the season without scoring a goal for his new team in Arsenal, they mention it in the commentary. And if you score a goal with him in that game, they'll mention that he's, beat the streak with that goal. So it's a really well done game. There's a lot of really neat features that keep the game updated and live, and it makes it fun to go back again and again. It's some really addicting features, really well implemented. Of course, one of the biggest things everybody wants to know about with FIFA and most sports games is the career modes. This year, they've updated a few of the aspects of the Be a Career. You can still choose to either be a player and play through his whole career, or a manager. I personally stuck more on the manager side of things because I have a bit of roster addiction. But you can go through, make transfers. They updated the transfer logic to make it much more realistic this year. It was that way guys like Wayne Rooney won't be moving every 2 seconds, which happened a lot in the old games. But you can go through, you can put people on loans, you can put them on the transfer list. And one of the cool features with transfers now, too, is you can add a player to the transfer as well as just the cash offer. So it gives another little element to consider when you're trying to trade for people. Most of the screens and roster management stuff are the same from the years before, but I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They work well enough for what they do. I personally would prefer a little bit of a smoother subbing system in-game. It is a little jarring to have to pause the game, management, and do all that. But really, it's a great game. It's really well put together, and I recommend if you're a die-hard or even just a casual football fan, it's definitely worth checking out. Some of the implements this last year have really made it worth an upgrade, and some of it's still the same. So I guess ultimately it's up to you, but if you'd like my opinion, I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and it's a game that I think I'm going to find myself playing for quite a while to come. All right, well, peace out, all you crazy achievement hunting ninjas. Till next time, this was Joe, and that's FIFA 13. Adios.